To continue my saga, the stories about some kids are kicked in the head by a horse. My last ship assignment was a seagoing tug. It was a volunteer job. That should have told me something as to how dangerous this assignment would be, but nobody told me. Now, most of the crew on this particular seagoing tug, there was a crew of about 9 or 10 people, including the captain. I found out very quickly what a dangerous job it was going to be. Refueling ships at sea or resupplying ships at sea, and even some of the harbor assignments were very dangerous in what was going on. And the day I had the accident in which I lost most of my left hand, it was a 2-man assignment we had that particular day, but my shipmate was drunk and he couldn't show up. And the skipper told me, "I'm sorry, but you got to do it yourself." I said, No. This is too dangerous." He said, "No, you got to do it. There's a war going on." So I did it. And that particular day, this 2-man job, which was now being done by me, resulted in an accident where I lost most of my left hand. But a strange thing happened that day. I should have died that day, but the machine that was cutting off my left hand, it stopped on its own. I thought my whole body was going to be cut in half. And I could still see it happening, but the machine stopped. And my baseball career was over, my basketball career was over, my boxing career was over. It seemed everything was over, except one thing: my attitude. I still had that attitude of my way or the highway, or the wise guy attitude. I still have it. Now I was in a real dilemma, what to do as an amputee. In those days, my government, under GI Bill of Rights, would pay for my college education. With the grades I had in high school, no college wanted me, it seemed. I tried, but they all turned me down. But eventually I found one college, St. John's University, who accepted me on the condition that I maintain either a B average or a B plus average. And my friends, I never saw a B in my life, I never saw a B plus in my life. I also am being told I'm in college, if you want to stay here, you better maintain a B or a B plus. Another game changer. My brother-in-law, who was a CPA and by far the most wonderful person I've ever known, he knew my dilemma, and he agreed to mentor me on how to study. And following his instructions, I studied extensively during my college career, and lo and behold, I almost graduated with honors. And for a kid that was, I considered stupid in high school or grammar school, I just about missed graduating with honors. But again, the wise guy attitude is what prevented me from graduating with honors. In my freshman year, I took a course in Catholic literature with a friend, and the teacher was a Franciscan priest, big fat guy. And one day he said something in the class to a young lady, which I thought was way out of bounds. And I raised my hand and I told him that I don't believe in how you're treating that girl. Well, my friends, with that, he said, "Please leave my class and don't ever come back to another course in religion while you're at St. John's University. We're going to give you 12 credits of C's, but don't ever come back to another class in religion because you're a troublemaker." Again, I'm a wise guy. And those 12 credits in C's prevented me from graduating with honors. But still, I graduated with honors, thanks to my Pavlor, and I found my way to a great accounting firm on Wall Street in New York City. And quickly, I started to excel. I now knew what I was doing with my profession. I've been properly mentored in what to do. But a strange thing was happening. From early on in that career, I became a boss of people. And I was kind of shocked at that. But later on, I was told by one of my superiors that I had a natural ability to instruct people how to conduct themselves. And looking back upon it, it was the wise guy syndrome again. My way or the highway. I know what's best for you. This is what you're going to do. And do it. As a result, I excelled in this firm. I got major assignments. Big clients such as General Electric, Chase Manhattan Bank, and I was just amazed at how well I did at this firm. But one of the important ingredients was I had the ability to lead other guys in our profession. And what it was, there's something in my attitude, there's something that emanates from my personality that says, my way or the highway. And again, that's another trait of a wise guy. When I left this particular firm to go with a client, I got a large salary increase. I was now an executive in a major corporation. I was high flying, so to speak. At age 32, I was well on my way to the top. And a strange thing happened again. Another game changer. The war in Vietnam came along in 1965. And by 1967, I picked up drinking. Out of the blue, I started to drink. I don't know why. My life at the time was shocked. My friends were shocked. But what was happening to me is something I found out years later. I was suffering from post-traumatic stress from my injuries I sustained while on active duty during the Korean War. I was always getting flashbacks to other kids who were amputees who were with me in the military hospitals I was in. And to this day, I still see them. And this is all part of the syndrome of post-traumatic stress. So when the anti-war people started acting up in 1967 in New York City, I started to attack them. Again, my way or the highway. The police would arrest me, they would chase me away, they would put up barricades to keep me away from the protesters. And while this is going on, my drinking is escalating to the point where I lost my job, to the point where eventually I went to jail. Eventually, I went to a mental hospital. Eventually, I tried suicide. This post-traumatic stress was eating me alive, and I didn't know what to do with it. I just didn't know what was wrong. In fact, my desire to die was so big, I decided that I had to get to Vietnam while the war was going on and die there, and I would feel better. Now that's pure insanity, but that's post-traumatic stress. And at this juncture, I will take another stop in my saga about some kids who kicked in the head by a horse. Thank you.